Good day, and Happy New Year to the GX community. I just wanted to begin my very first video of 2021 with a thank you to all of you that have grown this channel. You know, I started this small channel because I could not find any content online for the GX470 many years ago. I owned a 2008, then I owned a 2011, then I owned a 2012, a 2014, and now I have a 2017. So I've had many generations of GXs, and I don't think I will ever get any other car as my weekend utility vehicle. I love this car to death, so I will only do tutorials for the Lexus GX, okay? And as you notice, the GX community has grown significantly. So I think what sets me apart from online blogs is that I'm a visual learner. I need to see step by step, you know, as though you're teaching a third grader how to do nuclear physics. So if I'm going way too slow for you, you know, feel free to fast forward. Okay, that's what I do when I watch porn. Just skip the storyline, get straight to the damn point. All right, so this video is going to be about this rear trim that we're going to be removing. A lot of you have asked me, and I've been reading the comments section, that you guys wanted to see how to replace the rear speakers, and first and foremost, how to take off this trim panel. So to replace the trim panel, of course, obviously, you're going to have to remove the third row seats, okay? You're going to have to remove all the trims and the third row seats. I already have a video on that for you guys, and I'll set up the link for you guys to click on that if you don't know how to remove the third row seats. I'm not going to add it onto this video because it's just going to be one long video of the same thing, okay? So go watch my video on how to remove the third row seats. After you've watched that, we can continue on to the trim panels. And you know, if you notice, both trim panels are identical. The only difference is these little small doors that have nothing to do with anything. It doesn't really matter what side you take off. And this side has a plug right here, an AC 120 volt plug right there. All it is just a plug, no screws or anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove one panel, and you can go ahead and remove the other panel just using the same process, okay? And the tools I'm going to be using, of course, I'm going to be using these trim panel removal tools. I got a big flathead, okay, a really strong big flathead. I got a small flathead. You're going to see what these flatheads are for later on. These flatheads are going to be able to do what these trim panels aren't able to do, and I'll show you that later. You're going to have a little socket wrench. You guys could use hand tools or power tools, doesn't matter to me. You're going to need a 10 millimeter deep socket. You're going to need a 14 millimeter deep socket. I got my power drill right here. I got my power drill right here too for Phillips. You need a Phillips, okay? So let's get started. Okay, first things first, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be removing this hook right here. This is for your rear net, okay? So I'm going to be removing this. And all you have to do is turn it clockwise. Clockwise, and it comes out. And when you reinstall it, you don't turn it counterclockwise. All you do is turn it clockwise again, and it locks in. Clockwise only to install, clockwise only to reinstall, okay? So here you go. To remove, clockwise. Let's take that out, and it's a Phillips. Let's go ahead and remove that Phillips right now. Holy crap, it is one long bolt, guys. See that? It is one long Phillips bolt. Let's go ahead and set it aside. The next one, you're going to mosey it down to the front a little bit, and you're going to see this cap right here. This cap, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver, just like this. You're going to put it inside this slot right here. I wasn't able to use a plastic trim tool for this because it just didn't work for some reason. I put my flathead right there, and I just twist it, and it pops right off. Make sure you look where this is going to go. You might want to block it. It's going to fly really hard, okay? It's going to fly. It's going to be a Phillips screw in there. Go ahead and remove it. Okay, and here's the Phillips. It looks nothing like the rear one. This one's a black one with a washer on it. Okay, and the next step is right here. Go forward a little bit more, and you're going to see handles right here. And to remove those handles, they have caps that you're going to have to remove with your flathead screwdriver. Stick it in there, stick it inside the slot, and just pry it open, just like that, okay? These, and guess what? They're Phillips. Just remove them with a Phillips drill. Bam, right there. and the whole entire handle just comes right out. I wouldn't take the screws out, guys. I would just leave it in there. You're just going to mix and match all your screws. I would take your cap and I would just put it back right there so the screw doesn't fall out. So we could keep it on the side somewhere so none of this gets mixed up. Trust me, by the time you guys are all done with this, you're going to have like 5 leftover screws, and you don't want that, okay? So always leave the screws with the part that you're taking off. Okay, so let's see what's next. Okay, next you're going to move to the middle, and then you're going to look down. If you look down, you're going to see 2 screws down here, right here. 2 screws that hold down this lower tab. Remove those and remove those. Okay, do not forget where these screws go. These are the only 2 screws that go down there. 2 screws, okay, and they look like this. They're Phillips with a hexagon head. Okay, let's set those aside. You got those screws, and look how loose the bottom panel is already. Okay, you guys, here's a hint. You guys do not have to remove this top. This top right here is not on top of your brown panel. Your brown panel actually is on top of this. So the brown panel needs to come off first. So our whole entire intent is to remove the brown panel so you can actually leave this where it's at, okay? So just leave the top trim panel. Okay, let's move on to the next step, which goes to the middle row. Let's go to the middle row right now. Okay guys, once you get to the middle row, this is what you're gonna need to do. You're gonna take your middle row and you're gonna slide the seats all the way to the front. If removing the headrest helps, go for it. Or you could just move your front seats all the way to the front so you get some clearance back here. It helps push both of the middle row seats all the way forward because you're going to need to gain a lot of access to your C-pillars right here, your trim panel right here. And the next step I'm going to be doing, and these are the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need your big flathead, your small flathead. You're going to need some trim removal. You're going to need your deep socket 10 millimeter, and you're going to need your 14 millimeter. Okay, so we are going to remove the bottom trim, the step panels down here, and the step panels have these 2 slots right there. You see them, these 2 slots? To be able to remove those 2 slots, you're gonna have to take a little flathead screwdriver and stick it in the slot and just pry it up. Bam, and right there, just pry it up. There you go. Once you remove these covers, guess what? Right inside are 10 millimeter bolts. Let's go ahead and remove those 10 millimeter bolts right now. You got your deep socket, make sure it's going counterclockwise, okay? Actually, these are not very tight. Once you loosen them up, you can go ahead and use your hands to move them, to loosen them up manually. You don't even need a power drill for this. They made this thing so loose, it's incredible. Okay, remember how I told you to leave the screws in there whenever you're done, just so you don't lose any screws? There it is. See that? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the screws and leave it in there. Okay, this is what I normally do. It's good pointer. This mechanic used to teach me this, and it helps out a lot if you don't want to lose anything. Okay, so you just stick it in there, and you just stick it in there just like that. Okay, keep it on the side. And the next step you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take off this panel down here. To be able to take off this panel, you can use your wide scraper right here and put it underneath. Okay, let me give you a better view of it. Put it underneath right here and just pry up. There you go, until you starts hearing clicking. There you go. Don't be afraid, guys. These are all clips, okay? All clips that come off. 3 clips right here. Comes off, go ahead and set it aside. The reason why we removed that step panel is because it was covering this right here. You're gonna need to remove this part. Okay, your next step is going to be your seatbelt bolt right here. Okay, the seatbelt clip, the best way to access your seatbelt clip, if you don't want to remove it by hand, you could use your power motor, but this is in the way, so you're going to have to put your seat in an upright position. Now you see this huge gap right here. With this huge gap, you're going to take your flathead screwdriver, right, and you're going to pry this clip off right here, and it should come out fairly easy. It's just a clip. There you go. Don't set your screwdriver on your seats. That's how seats get torn, okay? Just take this off. It's just a clip. Let's set it on the floor right there and check that out. It's a 14 millimeter, guys. Let's go ahead and get our motor for 14 millimeter. Let's make sure it's going counterclockwise. You don't want to bust a nut again, right? Okay, so let's remove it. Okay, it's going to come out. 14 meter. There, now it's out. You can go ahead and retract it where it needs to belong. You don't need to take the bolt out. You could just leave the bolt where it is, or just take it out if you don't want to scratch up your plastic. Just set it on the bottom, okay? So now this whole entire part should be loose. In order for you to find out, you take your weather seal right here, loosen it up, take your weather seal, and if you look behind there, it's all plastic clips, right? Plastic clips. You want to take your trim bar tool right here and you want to start prying at it. Okay, start prying at it and find out where these clips are. Okay, once you find out where these clips are, they should easily pop on you. You can actually go on the inside. See, you heard that? It's starting to pop. You could go on the inside of your car and start prying from there. Okay, I'm in the back cargo area right now, and this whole entire panel should be able to just pop out. You can remove this 14 millimeter that holds your rear seat belt if you want to. It makes life a lot easier, but you don't have to. If you leave it on, all you have to do is just wiggle yourself out of there. But me, you know me, I like things to be easy with a lot of shortcuts. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it anyways. 14 millimeter. Okay, let's get this out of the way. All right. Now, if you go ahead and take both hands and hold on to the top portion, just hold on to the top portion while you pull out the bottom portion, things should be able to snap out. Okay. Okay. There you go. It's popping out. It's popping out. Remember, hold on to the top. It's popping out. Same thing right here. Just pop it out. Okay. And this portion right here doesn't pop out this way. You have to push it forward that way. Okay, there's a little clip right there. If you hold on to the top portion and just push it forward, I'm going to show you why. Right there, you see this? It doesn't pop out that way. It's held on going back and forth this way. So push it forward in order to move this panel out. So with that being said, our whole entire panel should be able to come out right about now, right? And let me show you what's behind here. Plenty of room, right? I'm pretty sure your speakers and all that should be able to go back here. You could do all your wiring back here for your speaker replacement. My base model doesn't have a rear speaker back here, boo-hoo, but no big deal. I don't plan on keeping this car very long. I plan on getting an upgrade, but you know, here is the rear trim panel removal. The right side is going to be identical, all the clips and brackets and everything. If you want to go ahead and go further by removing these panels right here, they also pop out. Okay, they pop out and there's nothing holding this together. If you take a flathead screwdriver and you pop this panel right here, let me see if I could do it with my nails. See, there's nothing holding it in there. It's just a 14 millimeter bolt that's holding in the seat belt, but that's it. You can actually slide the seat belt through this hole if you want to take out this trim. Okay, and that looks like that should be about it, guys. Any questions? Any questions? Oh, by the way, before I close up all the rear panels and everything, I just wanted to show you a little tiny trick that I am sure that 1% of you did not know about. Did you know that this piece right here is your third row seatbelt holder? You slip this through the first bracket and you take this clip and you put it inside the slot, and that's what holds your rear seatbelt. Did you know that? Both sides have it, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Bam. Keeps the third row seatbelts out of the way. Did you know that? Well, now you do. That 1%. Thank you for watching.